Bonjour Year 9, welcome to Lesson 20, your final lesson of the summer term. And if you're not doing a GCSE in French, then your final lesson of French. Thank you so much for all of your hard work. You've really put in work this year and been conscientious, and I've been really delighted to see the progress that you've been made. So let's get on with your last lesson then, au collège, at school. So here's a list of equipment for this second lesson. So you need exactly what you needed for the first one. So just keep that all open. Pause if you need to though. Okay, thank you for uploading all your previous work onto class charts. Please remember to upload period 2 lesson separately from period 1 lesson onto class charts so that you get 2 achievement points there. Please also remember to email me if you've got any questions about the activities in today's lesson. And here's my email address. Merci beaucoup. Copiez la date, jeudi 16 juillet, et le titre, mon prof, my teacher, and underline those neatly in your book. Then, copiez l'objectif, copy the objective, to write about your school day. And pause to do that now and press play when you're ready for the do now activity. Okay, your do now activity, I'd like you to translate the following sentences into French. Okay, I want you to pay particular attention to where it has the gender, in brackets F or M. So my maths teacher, feminine, is more impatient than my English teacher, masculine. Making sure that all these adjectives as well agree in the feminine or the masculine, okay, as specified here, okay. I'll leave you to do that now, so pause, make sure that you bear in mind the gender, okay, and then press play to check your answers. Okay, let's check your answers now. My maths teacher, feminine, so we're looking for ma prof here. And then for impatient, impatiente, must have an E on the end. Okay? Numéro 2. My history teacher is feminine again, so it needs to be ma prof d'histoire, is less kind et moins gentille. Make sure with gentille is a double L and an E there, that agrees. And then the French teacher here is feminine, que ma prof de français. Okay? And finally, numéro 3, numéro 3, mon prof de religion, as it's masculine, est aussi sévère. Okay, and make sure you've got your accents on here and that sévère is spelt right. Que mon prof de commerce. Okay, so mon prof for both of these. Make sure this is spelled correctly. I'm going to pass you on to Monsieur Bolis now. He's going to teach you the rest of the lesson. Have a fantastic summer holiday. Please do stay in touch even if you're not doing a GCSE in French. And if you are doing a GCSE, I hope that I'll be teaching you next year. Okay, have a good lesson. Merci, au revoir.
So for the lesson today, we are writing about the school day. So first, we need to have a look at sentences we will need to know to talk about the school day. Can you repeat them after me, please? J'ai histoire tous les jours. J'ai histoire à 11h15. J'ai histoire à 3h30. J'ai 2 heures de français par semaine. Je n'ai pas cours d'histoire le lundi. J'apprends l'histoire. Les cours commencent à 9h. Les cours finissent à 3 heures. Well done, Year 9. Now, this vocabulary shouldn't be too hard for you to translate, but I'm still giving you a bit of help for you to do it. So in your exercise 2 book, write down the French and then write down the English next to it. You can now press pause and then press play when you're ready to see the correction. So let's see the correction. Tous les jours, of course, is every day, and j'ai histoire, straightforward. I have history. The time, 11h15, is 11:15. Now, please note that in English it's the other way around. In French, you say 11 hours and a quarter, or un quarter. Same for 3h30, 3:30. J'ai 2 heures de français par semaine. I have 2 hours of French per week. Je n'ai pas cours d'histoire lundi. Now, please note that it's D apostrophe in French because histoire, even if it starts with a H, you don't pronounce the H. So it starts with an I, so it's a vowel. J'apprends l'histoire. Now, this sentence is the only one that you're going to have the article in front of the school subject. So far we've seen that, it's j'aime l'histoire, j'aime le français, j'aime les maths, j'aime la géographie. So you've got that le, l'apostrophe, la or les in front of the subject. If you look at sentences number 1 to 5, you don't have that happening. It's the subject straight away with nothing in front of it. So please note that after j'apprends, you need that article. Les cours commencent à 9h. And les cours finissent à 3h. Please note that you don't pronounce the N or the T. And of course the translation. Press pause, double check that you got everything correct in your book, and then press play when you're ready to continue. So now is the time to practice the vocabulary. Follow the link on class charts or at the bottom of this video and complete all the activities you need. Now, you may not have time to complete everything. It's okay. Just make sure you spend 10 minutes on it. You can now press pause and then press play when you're ready to continue. So let's have a look at the sentence builder. The first column, you can see that we've got very similar sentences to what we've learned so far. So the j'ai, we saw it, you've got it written in your book. J'ai 2 heures is also in your book. I've added j'ai 4 heures just for a bit of variety. Je n'ai pas cours de, you've got it in your book. And then j'apprends followed by le, la, l'apostrophe or les, which we talked about before. Le cours de is something new. So once again, to add for variety and to be a bit more precise. Then you've got all the subjects, which we've learned before. You have all noticed that le, la, l'apostrophe or les has disappeared because, like we mentioned before, most phrases in the first column do not need it. And then after that, you've got all the time phrases. I've added a few more, like aujourd'hui for today. And the 2 at the bottom, le matin, l'après-midi, for in the morning and the afternoon. And then finally, that last row, starting with le cours de, can be followed by only commence à 11h or finit à 2h. Yeah? So that row at the bottom is what you need to pay attention to. There's a clear split there. Knowing that, I'm now going to read you some sentences in French. Can you write them down in your exercise book, please? Numéro 1. J'ai, géographie, le matin. Numéro 2. J'apprends, les sciences, aujourd'hui. Numéro 3. Le cours d'anglais commence à 11h. Numéro 4. J'ai 4 heures de français tous les jours. Okay, now I'm going to read you the sentences in English. Write them down in French, please. I do not have a lesson of business in the afternoon. Numéro 6. The lesson of maths, or the math lesson, finishes at 2. Well done, Year 9. Good work. Can you please now check the sentences you have written in your exercise book and make sure that they are all correct? For your next activity, I want you to write down 5 sentences of your choice and translate them into English. Now make sure that you've got a variety of vocabulary and a variety of structures so that will help you for your next activity. Our next activity is new. So I call it a Fungal Translation. That means that I'm going to show you a text which I want you to read first. And then when you finish reading the text, I want you to rewrite the two texts. Rewrite two texts, one in French and the correct translation in English. And that's because the text you've got on your screen has been mixed up. So you've got a mixture of French and English on there, hence the Franglais title. And what I want you to do, I want you to separate the two texts again and write down the French first and then the English underneath, or write down the English first and then the French underneath, however you want to do it, I don't mind. You've got 10 minutes to do it. If after 10 minutes you're still going at it, you can pause and then have a look at the correction. You can now press pause and then press play when you're ready to continue. So here is the correction to your work and the text that you had to create. So take the time to compare your notes and compare what you've done. If you haven't had the opportunity to do everything, just go through the text to the point that you've reached and then leave it like that. For our next activity, I want you to write at least 50 words describing your school day. Now, I want you to include at least 4 details about the day, opinions and reason about each subject mentioned, and finally use connectives and time phrases. Now I'm putting on the screen again the text you have just written, which was your model. Can you please write something a bit different though and try to change the times and change the work? You can now press pause and then press play when you're ready to continue.
Bon travail, Year 9. Great work in today's lesson. Great work all year. Thank you so much for everything. It's been a pleasure teaching you and online teaching you a little bit as well. And stay in touch. I look forward to seeing you next year. Some of you, don't be strangers if you're not doing GCSE for French. Please remember to upload pictures of your work onto class charts either straight after the lesson and put this lesson against period 2, please, on class charts. And you've got 2 days to do this to get a well-deserved achievement point. Thanks for everything. Merci. Au revoir.